Hello, welcome back to my channel. And this time I want to discuss about the movie The Night Clerk and a lot of the flaws that people have been pushing about, and how, like, oh, this boy Bart, why he wasn't arrested for monitoring people and looking through the cameras, like spying on people. And people had a lot of fault in that, but I'm here to discuss why it could be more realistic than most people want to admit or don't even know. Let's look at the character. He had autism, and part of the job for him was to monitor and make sure everything was going well, and make sure everything was going smoothly in the hotel. So one could argue that he was technically trying to do his job, maybe a little overboard, 200% overboard. But the thing is that with an autistic mind, that's how they kind of play out a lot of the time. That's how we kind of play out. We play out with these rules and make sure that everything is going smoothly. And additionally, the detective, John Leguizamo's character, when the actual killer that murdered his wife, was saying that, he was telling the guy that, that the husband of the wife that was murdered, that he's on the autism spectrum disorder. What are you going to get out of that? It's like, it's not really true realistic, because it's hard, because he has a condition that makes him go against social norms. If he was non-autistic at all, he would probably have been arrested for doing that, for spying, because most neurotypical people know the social cues and the social rules and the unwritten rules, and it's very hard because for an autistic to grasp that a lot. And the reason why the employer didn't want to fire him was because if he gets fired from that job, his mom could sue the hotel business and put a lawsuit for ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. And autism is covered under those type of laws in those circumstances. So it's a hot potato he didn't want to do, but he moved him over to the next hotel because he had to do something about it. The employer had to do something about it. He was, a lot of people would say he's a father to the boy, and because his father died, movie, a little spoiler alert, the father. But the truth of the matter is he wasn't. He was saving his own ass, because he doesn't want that lawsuit, but he can't ignore it either, that he witnessed the murder, that he witnessed that murder. But that's what the case was. And I think a little bit of a slap on the wrist, the detective also kind of let him fly by with this, because he was able to solve the case that he was craving for. So he kind of gave him a slap on the wrist. He found the culprits, and that was probably more important. And then, he doesn't want to make that arrest because it's a chicken shit arrest for someone with a disability who doesn't know the whole system well. But he's quite capable of figuring things out, but not the way that he really, expected and panned out. So, yeah. I think this movie was more realistic than people like to imagine. That's my take on this. Hope you subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.